Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Dane Diddy, man, and I am joined here today by one of the super analysts over at Culturalist Theory. We got QB. How you doing today?
I'm chilling, man. How are you, Dave? Thanks for having me. It's a
Yeah,
great concept, bro. I'm excited.
no doubt. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. It's been a good day. I'm doing this challenge with my job. We got to do like 15,000 steps a day, so I'm trying to stay in the lead. It's like a nine-way tie for the lead right now. So
Nine ways. How many people are in this challenge?
right now, I think it's like 60.
You
So
got to
a
get
lot of
moving,
people
man.
slack. I'm already at 10K for the day, so I only need another five. It's about six
S-
and a half miles a day.
Man, okay, so if nine people are in the lead, that means nine people are doing the minimum. That means you got to step
No,
it
no, no,
up.
no, 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 no. Nine people are doing the max. You can only cap out at 15K. So if you do
15K is the
anything more,
max.
don't count. Yeah,
Y'all are
yeah.
nuts, man.
15K is the max, so it don't matter how much I do over that. It ain't gonna benefit me or take away. So I'm capped out I'm capped out every day so far. I'm only 5K away. I got what it like 12 hours left. I'm good.
Yeah.
I get it.
What do you win? Because it got to be something.
It's $150 for first place, and then I think it's like $100 for second place, $50 for third place.
Man, y'all 15 or y'all nine people in the league could have pulled more money than that.
Hey, the job put all the money up, so it wasn't really a pool. But hey, I'll take it if you're gonna have me free money to walk. You know, that's
I,
easy money in my
yeah,
book.
I take it too.
All right, so you know what we're doing here, man. One album, one song, one verse. You could pick one from each category. It cannot be from the same project. That's probably what makes it the hardest thing to do out of everything. But I think let's start with Nicki Minaj. So I'll go first.
Okay, Queen
So
Nick, let's hear it.
Queen Nick, right? So for album, I felt like I went with the obvious choice here. It was I went with Pink Friday. I remember when this album came out, I was super championing Nicki Minaj. Like I was one of the what do you call it? The man, I forgot what her
You a barb?
yeah, yeah, I was a super barb. You know what I mean? There was even somebody probably could find it, man. She had even retweeted one of my tweets at one point. Like I was
Dang.
super on, yeah, because I was like, she was asking who she should collab with, and at the time I was like, yo, Lady Gaga, and then she was,
Oh,
yeah. So I was super into Nicki at this point, and that album was like super great. I'm the best. I love the way that song sounds. Moment for Life, like that's one of those songs. It's on my gym playlist. It's one of those songs that uh it's like a really motivational record to me. Same thing with Fly. I got the lyrics to Fly right here behind me. uh Love the hook that Rihanna did for that.
so I know what you
Super
walking to
bass.
then.
Right. I love super bass. I actually like super bass before Taylor Swift gave it the push that she did to kind of blow the song up. I was on it before that, and yeah, I've been a super Nick fan for a long time when the album came out. So to me, it had to be Pink Friday if I'm gonna recommend Nicki to somebody that never really heard it before.
Okay, I have to agree with you. Like there is an obvious choice for a reason. I feel like she has a lot of obvious choices, and I wasn't gonna go dark horse for Nicki Minaj. I'm gonna keep it very down the middle, straightforward. Pink Friday is the best introduction to Nicki. She did a great job of telling her story from start to finish. You get all the different sides of Nicki, you get the different characters, you get all the development and the things that she did with Young Money, the stuff that she was doing on the streets and the mixtapes. And all these years culminated into this one great album. And it was what the fans deserved and what the fans needed in order to get even more bought into Nicki. If you weren't a fan of her in the mixtapes, like once she got the Young Money push and all the Young Money behind her, this was it. Like this was a great project. Like you said, I mean, you named like almost all the tracks. So like, what I don't even know what I got did it on them, which is it's a little vulgar, but it's also motivational. Like it's inspirational, man.
Is
Um,
that it? Is that the first time Nicki said These bitches is my sons, because like that's one of her most quoted lines is like calling rappers her sons. I feel like that might have been the first time I heard her say it.
I don't know.
As far
I feel like it might have been on Beam Me Up, Scotty, but I could be wrong. It's been a minute since I listened to Beam Me Up all the way through. But yeah, she was sunning people early. Like, hey, you sun people, if this is her first time on your debut album, it's like, I'm coming out, I'm the best. Like, I know it, and I'm going to let you guys know it too. Uh, this one doesn't have any skips for me. Even the pop stuff, like Check It Out or Blazing, which is not necessarily the most popular song, like, you don't have to skip it because there's still something to offer to anybody who wants to get it. You know what I mean? Dear
hmm
old Nicki, dear old Nicki,
yeah,
come on, man. That's a bio like all by itself. It gets you, like I said, it gets you start to finish. So no skips for me on the 13 tracks. Pink Friday is my vote if I'm introducing somebody to Nicki Minaj.
just to add on to what you said, Nikki's a theater kid, and you see the growth of that from Beam Me Up Scotty to Pink Friday. Like Beam Me Up Scotty, it almost seemed like she was trying to figure it out, but she really locked into it with the whole Roman thing and all of that, the theatrics and the music at that point.
Yeah, it was locked in, man. I was locked in. I don't know if I call myself a super barb. I don't know if I like being part of groups like that, but
Yeah, not no more, not no
but
more for me. I'm good on the groups now.
yeah. So I mean, but I was definitely a Nicki fan, riding around in my first car, bumping, bumping that one.
Yeah.
So
So, so what did you get for song? What you got?
I went itty bitty piggy from BBF Scotty.
That's
This
one of them joints that got everybody hooked on Nicki. Like I think that's the one that kind of crossed her over, right? I mean, that's the one you could point to from the mixtape series.
exactly like this is probably my first introduction to Nicki Minaj. I wasn't on DVDs and stuff like that, but definitely when I heard itty bitty piggy, because mixtapes were going crazy at this time, I was locked in. I was having fun. I was driving fast and I wasn't quite doing donuts, but I was having a good time listening to itty bitty piggy.
No doubt. Yes, yeah, that was a great one. I remember our first time hearing the Beam Me Up Scotty joint, and that one definitely sticks out super hard. For me, I actually went with a dark horse on this one just because uh, Nicki has like a very diverse discography where you can pick songs that have singing on it, songs that have like Trini vibes, Caribbean vibes in it. So I actually went with Freedom. I felt like that's a song that's really slept on. It was
Yeah,
on Pink Friday, Roman's Revenge Reloaded. And I feel like between the beat that she used, the lyrics, the tone she's rapping the verses in, the way she sings the hook, I feel like at that point in her career, she really felt like she had made it and she really felt free. She was doing everything she wanted to do. And that was like a pivotal moment for her. You know what I mean? She was working
on a
with Red
sophomore
One.
album, when
Yeah,
she
yeah,
was where
on
she
this.
wanted to be. Like, okay, you know.
Yeah, already. I mean, because like we got to remember, man, like you know, for a while, it was just like kind of like Missy, like on the stage. I'm not saying that weren't other female rappers doing it like behind the scenes, Rhapsody. She was
But it
rocking.
was super quiet. I mean,
But as far as
let's
on
just
the
be
main
real.
stage, yeah, on the main stage, like people actually moving units and being featured on songs and stuff like that. Yeah, Nicki kind of just came in, held that spot down, and she immediately like just shot straight up.
Yeah,
And like she wasn't just the number one female rapper, she was one of the most sought after artists, period, at the time. And I feel
oh yeah,
like that song kind of expresses all of that.
she's definitely iconic pop star. All the things that wasn't limited to a genre or like you say, one type of sound, because you can find so much diversity in her music and her artistry. Like, so I think you were fucking spot on when you said she should collab with Lady Gaga. Like that would have been peak for both of them, because it wouldn't be like Lady Gaga would be doing her a favor or vice versa, because they're
hmm
both so like elaborate in their artistry and what they're able to bring, and I think they would have brought out like something crazy in each other.
Absolutely.
I had some backups, but we got to go one and one and one. So I stuck
Yeah,
to
yeah,
my
no,
one. I'm not
don't
saying
do the
what it was.
backups.
I'm not doing backups.
Oh yeah, trust me, I get especially when we get to Rihanna and Usher, I got backups for days. But yeah.
Whew, it's tough, man.
All right, so verse. I
Hmm.
like to try to go with, especially with rappers. I like to go with something more recent, so I can have proof to point to that they still get down and they still can do it at the highest level. And I picked Red Ruby the Sleaze off of her
What?
most recent album. The second verse, the second verse.
Uh,
I think the second verse is so much more harder. I'm throwing out the disses, okay? I'm acting as if this ain't even a diss record whatsoever. Like that doesn't do anything for me on this record. But I do feel like her wordplay and her lyricism on that song is just like top tier. And it shows like Nicki still got it. Like for all the people that was like she fell off, she took too much time away. She showed on that joint, she still got
I didn't like that one. Don't love it. It's okay. I did like the beat. I like the use of the sample.
Lil Me
Like,
D.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Why not? You in a little good
That
mood,
was a
but now
huge
you
record.
it was
That was
crazy.
a huge record.
Like,
They had
but
like 8 remixes.
I don't think that song for Nicki did what it needed to do. If I was gonna go something more recent, that wouldn't be it. But for my verse, I'm gonna keep it classic. I'm going with Monster. Like, I'm not deviating. I'm not going astray. Give the people what they want. If I'm introducing somebody to Nicki Minaj, I'm going Monster verse. Like, you get so many different flows, so many characters. The puns are on point. The punchlines hit. Like, it's a flawless verse. Okay, and I'm not giving any like subtle hints to my B list. No, but Monster, yeah, I'm going Monster. Even in the promo for it, the album cover for the single cover for it, Nicki Minaj's name is bigger than Kanye West's name. That lets
I
you
mean,
know
her
that
verse is bigger. Her verse is bigger on that record.
my whole point. So if I'm introducing somebody Nicki Minaj, I'm definitely you got to hear this Monster verse.
Yeah.
Am I
I
paying
mean, that's
Ruby Red the Sleeves? No, no, I'm not.
don't get me wrong. Like Monster, I mean, she murdered Nick. I mean, she murdered Kanye. She murdered Hove. I mean, Rick Ross don't even really get a verse on the song.
No.
So, I mean, she dominates that record. Everybody I know knows that verse. If you were an adult when that song came out, pull up in a monster automobile gangster. Like, you know what I mean? Everybody know
uh,
it.
yes.
And it gets you
Who
amped soon as it
rhymes Sri
start coming
Lanka with
on.
anything? Like,
Right. People had to
I,
look up where the country was.
I don't even think MIA rhymes with Sri Lanka. Like, I
That's
don't
a hell of
know.
a point.
Um, but yeah, I'm gonna keep it classic with Nicki Minaj. I'm going straight down the middle. Anything you want to know about Nicki Minaj, you're gonna find on Pink Friday, Itty Bitty Piggy, and Monster.
Great point. All right, so where do you want to go next? Usher? Rihanna?
Let's
Who
do
are you leaning
Usher.
towards?
Let's go Usher Raymond the Fourth.
All right, Usher Raymond. Album, what you got? What you going
But
with? I'm curious.
again, I'm going classic. I'm going, I'm going confessions. I think the premise of the show means that I have to do confessions. If nobody had ever, they come from outer space. Elon Musk brings somebody in from Mars, and they say, "Who is Usher?" And I would say, "Here, these are my confessions. This is what you need to know." I mean, obviously, it was a blockbuster album. It was his
Mm,
fourth album overall, but he worked with JD for the second time. And even though people thought it was
mm,
autobiographical, they thought it was about him and his breakup with Chili. Even when people found out that it was about JD and him being grimy in the streets, it did not deter anybody. Anybody, like, the story
mm,
itself didn't deter anybody from still seeing Usher as a sex symbol in itself if they thought he cheated on Chili or anything like that. I think the singles, yeah, was completely out of nowhere in terms of like songs that he had put out previously. He wasn't really in a pop bag at that point, and not to say that yeah, it's a pop song, but it's definitely different from his traditional R&B.
mm.
With Lil Jon, one thing I did find out looking for this is that Lil Jon actually produced A. Marie's Touch. Did you know that?
No,
I did not know
no.
that either. But so yeah, as a first single, went crazy. Then you got Burn, with a video that was simple but still really effective. Confessions also had a great video, great premise. Um, My Boo, which I thought was a Lucy, but apparently it's on Confessions too. But you can't go wrong
It's
with it.
I mean, it's technically it was on the remaster when they re-released the album with the bonus
Yeah,
tracks because it had the Sean verse from Jail, which was corny. But hey,
he didn't have Tory Lane's engineer quite.
right, right,
um, but yeah, this is a monster album, and it's another straight through listen. Um, that I feel like if I really want somebody to understand Usher's ability as a singer, not necessarily, like I said, it's not autobiographical, but Usher as a vocal storyteller is like peak. I think for me, that's what makes him a king of R&B. Like he can tell you a story with his voice.
yeah. So I am gonna go in a different direction, but I will
Please.
say Jermaine Dupri is like literally one of my idols in music, and if you're picking anything, if you're going Mariah Carey, Usher, Monica, you're probably picking something Jermaine Dupri did. Simple and plain. That dude is a genius. And a couple cool aspects. It's like the Yeah song was basically the Freak a Leak song. It has the same exact drums and everything.
Yeah.
But P.
Shout out Lil
Pablo
Jon.
took the record. He had to make a new version of the song so that we end up with Yeah, which sounds way better than Freak a Leak actually, as far as the beat goes. Like you said, like I feel like that album manifested the Chili breakup. Like that's how powerful the cheating allegation songs were. Like Chili even probably was like, "Damn, nigga!"
What? Yeah.
Like, so that album was definitely monumental. But I'm gonna actually go with "Here I Stand"
Okay.
and hear me out because I want to I want to repaint the premise of how we were looking at Usher at that moment. People were pissed at Usher. Remember, he had just married Tamika. Like
Mm-hmm. Going
people
crazy
were
on
done.
TRL. Yeah.
Yes, people were done with Usher. They wanted him gone. They weren't feeling anything he was doing. They wanted him to divorce her so bad. They were mad that he married a woman that had kids, that she didn't meet up to the beauty standards of what they thought Usher should be marrying. Like you got to remember, Usher never dated publicly again for years after this.
Mm-hmm.
This really kind of hurt his career, but I feel like if people go back and listen to this album, is it better than Confessions? If I'm being perfectly honest with myself, the answer is no. But I felt like Love in This Club, absolutely huge record. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Love in This Club, the remix, one of the best remixes we ever got. Usher, Beyonce, Lil Wayne
Lil
at his
Wayne.
peak. Like with that beat, is basically like Lovers and Friends mixed with the original Love in This Club. It's a fantastic record. This album, Deep Cut Something Special, is one of the most amazing records that you
Yeah.
can probably hear.
Definitely a
Trading
wedding
Places
song.
is absolutely Trading Places, crazy. You had Here I Stand is a great record on its own. His Mistakes, that is some of the best songwriting you're gonna get in a record. You know what I mean?
That's
I
not
feel
Confessions
like
though.
it's not. I know it's not Confessions, but I feel like as you grow and get older and you get like deeper in relationships, I feel like a lot of these songs hit different. Like Love You Gently, these songs at the moment didn't connect yet, but I feel like when depending on the age group I'm recommending this to, I'm definitely saying that you got to be probably like 35 and up. You're gonna hit this album a lot different than you will Confessions. Confessions is for every age range. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But
Yes.
35 and up, I think Here I Stand is a great introduction to Usher for somebody that's never heard him before. I know it's kind of. I'm not saying it's better. I know Confessions is the easy choice,
Now you told
but
me. No.
but justice for but justice for Here I Stand. I feel like there's some areas where Usher could be accepted and like his music could be looked at differently as his age.
Here I Stand is a very solid record. It's very good and it's very hard to follow up a diamond album to
Exactly.
go in any direction. So it's like almost no matter what you do, there's going to be a fall off. Like
Hmm.
you can't go diamond once. and then go like I don't know anybody who's going diamond back to back. So for him to produce a record that does, let's say, not even try to live up to it, but create its own product. I'm my own person. This is when he also had like severed management ties with his mom, also based
Hmm.
on marriage, but and so he was going in a different direction and needed to stand on his own 2 feet and prove who he is as a man, as a person, as a husband in this relationship or whatever. And I think he did what he set out to do with the record. All the singles that you named, is
Don't
Moving
forget
Mountains
about,
on
I
that?
forgot Moving Mountains. Yes, Moving
Moving
Mountains is on
Moving
there.
Mountains, like it is a great record and a very solid recommendation. I mean, I'm not.
It's
That's a good.
overproduced though. I'll say that. I'll definitely say that. They brought the dream in at the tail end of that record to help shore it up. You can actually find the original version online, and it doesn't have the overproduction that Dream and Tricky Stewart brought in at the last second. They didn't need all of that. They could have found a nice middle ground, but it's still a great record.
Yeah, man, let it go. It's okay. It's all right. What you got for a song? What song are you introducing
Okay,
somebody to? Since now
okay,
you have
man.
confessions to use.
You know what? I do have confessions to use. However, I'm going to continue to steer away from it.
Okay.
And I'm actually going to go to Coming Home, his most recent album, and I'm going to pick Risk It All. I feel like the lyrics on that song, the way Usher and her are singing and harmonizing that record, the simple piano melody of the beat, I don't know, it just does something to me every single time I listen to it. And it's just an incredible record to me. And I was shocked that Usher was able to put this together like at this point in his career because I was just like, like you said, after Confessions, he kind of just started steering more and more pop. Each album, he got way more pop. So when Coming Home came out, I was just like, man, we going Pitbull on this one. But
Ooh, now.
but then sure enough, like he went back to kind of like what his original sound was, like going headed back towards Confessions. So I think Risk It All is a one of his best overall records.
Risk It All is cool. You know, I'm not. I don't disagree with the choice. For me, Coming Home generally as a record, it felt like a bunch of Lucy's put together. It did not
Mm-hmm.
feel like a cohesive thought or album, which I know he can do.
So
So
yeah,
but Risk It All is a
you know
great
the
song. I think
problem, right?
it's on the soundtrack too. What's up?
Oh yeah, it's on the Color Purple soundtrack. But it was no Jermaine. He didn't have Jermaine there to steer it in
To hold his hand?
cohesiveness.
No, bro,
Yeah.
get over it. Get over it. Okay? EP your own project. Figure it out. Uh that being said, my song choice does include JD. It's My Way. Also includes Babyface. So, can't go wrong with that. I like My
Yeah.
Way because after his first album that didn't do what people thought it was going
Nothing.
to do under the tutelage of the Diddler, it
The diddler.
he was able to come home, so to speak, to me, because he is from the South,
Hmm.
and work with Jermaine Dupri and create something that felt more like him. Even some people would say more age appropriate, even though it is. I mean, there's sexuality in it anyway, but I think
Mm.
My Way is a fun song. I think the video went crazy with him leading the gang against Tyrese and his gang,
Yeah.
and it was like it just it's a feel good record, and I think it's a great introduction to Usher and what his style is, because he said I'm doing it
Hmm.
my way. So
Right.
it's my pick.
I love My Way. That's a great song, great record. Imagine if that song would have came out after Tyrese had played Jody.
Ooh, if the video
Cause I'm
came
just
out
saying,
after.
yeah. Cause I'm just saying, like people liked Tyrese back then. They didn't love him until like after Jody. So
Sweet lady, like lately, like I
that's
like
cool.
Tyrese, but I don't love Tyrese like I love Usher, and I don't think he has big records like Usher has, and I don't know if
I,
that's because the tenor of his voice. I don't know what it is, but
I'll tell you what, that Beautiful Pain album is crazy.
yeah, it's crazy long and crazy dramatic.
I
I
love it.
can't
I
do
love it.
it.
I think it's definitely his best album.
Well, you're an old married man, man. You're
You know
The
that
album
pain,
is
man.
for
That pain
you.
bring out the best albums.
Yeah, I couldn't get with it. It felt like he was dwelling on it to me, and that was really what
Yeah.
my issue was. I get it is about that in like a cathartic kind of way, but I felt it was a little draggy, and I don't like to make myself artificially sad, even if I had to put myself in a place of okay, where are we going with this? Like, see, even some Adele, like I love Adele, love her storytelling, but I gotta be in that place. I'm not trying to
Yeah.
go from happy days and be like, oh my god, what happened? That's what beautiful pain does to me. I don't know. I'm not into it. Not right now.
All right, verse. What you got for verse?
I took your
I felt like
advice.
you got to explain yourself on that.
No, no, I did good. I took your advice. And I said, okay, what proves that Usher still got it, that he can do it? Da, 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 da. So I went with Good Good. I went from
Okay.
his verse on Good Good. It's a great song put together with people from Atlanta. Got Summer Walker on there and 21 Savage. And after 8 years of not putting out an album, like I don't know if he actually would have put out an album if it wasn't for the Super Bowl. And he had to like do some calculations, like
I don't think so.
we might as well put an album out. But Good Good is a really good. It's a good verse because we know that Usher had, even though he didn't do a lot of public relationships, we know he has had public relationships, and this is like, okay, well, this didn't work out, but we don't have to hate each other. And I think for him to be a grown man, and even Summer Walker's verse backs that up, it's like we can still be cool, like, and
Hmm.
everybody's okay, and doesn't have to be a toxic breakup or a toxic energy anytime we're around each other. And I think he does a good job of putting that out.
Absolutely. Yeah. Good Good is a great record. I actually went a little bit further back for Usher since I went current on the song. Uh, I really was gonna go with one of my backups. I've been going back in my head all day, but I'm gonna stick with my guns. I'm going back to 8701, 2010. Oh no, no, 2001. It came out. It
In
came out
2000.
around that time, but it came out in 2001 for sure. And I'm going with Twerk It Out. I love the first verse on Twerk It Out, man. I feel like this is one of Usher's most underrated records. I love the chill demeanor of the record. I love the fact that he's just singing about like, look, I ain't about to go throw my money out in the streets in the strip club, and we just could just chill here and just do the thing.
You sounded
And
more married by the minute, Dave. Come on now.
ain't nobody try to waste no money out here, especially with these tariffs. So I'm just saying, I feel like Twerk It Out is. I mean, Twerk It Out could go right now.
Twerk it
If
out.
he re-released it.
And twerk as a word is a weird word anyway. It's like anytime I hear it, Yin Yang Twins, Usher, I don't care who says it. It's like, are we talking about the same thing here? But I agree with you that it's very slept on, but I would almost say for good reason. But go ahead.
For good reason.
Twerk
Okay.
it out. Okay.
All right. So here we are. We have Rihanna,
The
Riri,
Navy. Okay.
yeah, the Barbadian princess. I ain't gonna make nobody upset on this one. So, album.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's three easy choices you can go with on this one, but since I needed to make room for my favorite Rihanna song, I went with Good Girl Gone Bad. I remember when this album came out, this joint was crazy. Umbrella, like mind you, Rihanna was always looked at as like, yeah, she's all right, but Good Girl Gone Bad, it was a wrap. Umbrella came
Mm-hmm.
out. It was like Janet Jackson moment, right? When Janet Jackson broke out of her shell. And that's what Good Girl Gone Bad did for Rihanna. You listen to that album, you don't have to skip a song. Breaking Dishes, the flex flip for Say It that she did for the Mad Cobra joint is crazy. Question Existence shows Neo's crazy pen writing ability. Not only Hate the Way I Love You, you know, the joint that Justin Timberlake wrote, Rehab, also Take a Bow, that's Neo again, genius. This album right here is just perfection. Shut Up and Drive. I don't feel like anybody can say anything bad about Good Girl Gone Bad unless you're just really, really nitpicking.
Okay.
I guess you disagree.
It's a fine choice. Good Girl Gone Bad is not. It's not a bad choice. I think that's a great introduction to somebody who didn't know Rihanna. I mean, coming off those two island oriented albums to do something that was so different, I think it's a great choice, but not a better choice than Unapologetic.
Unapologetic. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going with Unapologetic. I think it shows even more growth than Good Girl Gone Bad does. I mean, she's older at that point in her career and making different choices. Fresh Off the Runway, Diamonds, Numb with Eminem, Poured Up. Now this is one you can listen to straight through. She has Love with Future. Future did more writing on it than like just his own verse, so like people probably didn't expect that from him. Um, Jump, What Now? Got a David Guetta song. Like this is a complete Rihanna package. Like every one of her albums has its own brand, its own identity because she
Hmm.
changed up the look. She had her Madonna thing going in her Madonna bag. So I think Unapologetic is a great way to get different facets of Rihanna at this point in her life, and she didn't disappoint. The singles still go, the B sides are still strong, and I think that anybody who listens to this would be in the Navy. You locked in.
I can't say anything about an album that has one of the biggest records ever on it in Diamonds, so I'm not gonna say anything. That's a good choice. I'll say that. Song. What you go with for song?
uh, since I have Good Girl Gone Bad to go to now, I chose Umbrella. You know,
Okay.
so don't nobody at me because I gave you what you wanted. I went Umbrella. It was a breakout song. Like you said, the song was everywhere. Again, The
Mm.
Dream did his thing, and he just comes up with things that match and hit like just right at the right time for the right artist. And he's magical with that. And I think she delivered with what she's able to do because I mean, obviously we know her vocal abilities, but because her range might not be as big as like a Christina Aguilera, she gives you what she can and it makes you feel, you still get all the feels. So I'm going with Umbrella.
I'm not gonna say nothing about Umbrella. I love that song. You know, great record. For
Well,
song,
thanks.
I picked what I believe is easily one of Rihanna's best records. I think it's one of her top three records of all time. And I'm going Man Down from Loud.
Ooh, yeah.
Man Down is ridiculous. Shout out to Rock City and Chantel. They wrote that record. The label tried to keep this song from Rihanna. They didn't even want her to hear it. So I felt like it was important for her to do that, especially for culture significance, because it falls out. My bad, I almost forgot about Sham. Stop, I say. Sham also worked on the song as well, and it tapped into her Caribbean roots, and I felt like it was very important for her to do this record for herself, and I felt like she nailed it 100%. They wrote the song based off of like, hey, uh, Who Shot the Sheriff from Bob Marley. They took that and kind of like expounded on it, and like, what if Rihanna shot somebody in broad daylight? And that's what you have. The beat is crazy. The singing is crazy. I feel it every time she sing it. So shout out to Man Down, y'all.
I love Man Down, man. That's on the gym playlist right there. It's on the Savage playlist, it's on the gym playlist. It's just like it's a fun record. Like it's not bouncing up and down, but it's chill island vibe, and it's just like very straightforward. It's like you can almost see her performing it in a club, like a little small, like where they have the round tables in the Caribbean. I mean, they have them everywhere, but you know what I'm saying? It's like it's a vibe. Like I'm listening to this on the beach. I'm listening to this on a plane. I'm listening. I'm vibing right now, listening to Man Down. So I like the choice. I'm glad you did that.
Yeah, shout out to Loud too. That album,
Ah,
but no
yeah, I was gonna
backups. No
say, man.
backups.
No, exactly. No backups.
All right, verse. I go ahead. I'll let you finish it out. For verse, I went with one of Rihanna's most hated records at the time, based on the circumstances, and that is the first verse of Russian Roulette. The You got to remember, this is the first single after the whole Chris Brown incident happened. And when this song came out, fans really didn't like it. They didn't like the tone. They felt like it was a bad tone for her to come back with. But I implore everybody to go back and listen to the lyrics of this song. Y'all got to remember that guy, Schaefer Smith, when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to writing lyrics, is an absolute genius. This dude compares love to playing a game of Russian roulette with somebody that's played Russian roulette multiple times and they're still alive to tell the story. Like, you gotta think about that. That is crazy. That gives the song a whole different type of meaning. So,
It's a great
everybody
metaphor to use.
go back and listen to Russian Roulette. I'm telling y'all, that song was so crazy, and everybody slept on it, and they had to pivot to Hard for the single, which was not a bad single. But I'm just saying, everybody should have really been paying attention to Russian Roulette. Shout out to Neo, man, and Chuck Harmony too. Chuck Harmony was on that. That's on Rated R for those that don't know.
We're twinning right now in a good way. I also chose something from Rated R. I
Okay.
chose I chose Hard. I chose the first verse from Hard.
Mm,
Um, it's a song featuring Jeezy. They did release it as a single, and I think that after a song like Russian Roulette, where it does play into her vulnerability and her softness, to come out with Hard to like kind of proclaim where she is in her career, in her life, and saying like, you could try to get here, but you're not here. Like, you can't knock me off this pedestal. So I'm
mm-hmm.
right here. Y'all figure it out. And she also hasn't come back. We waiting on another Rihanna record, and we're not gonna get one. She's letting you know, but I got other stuff to do.
Yeah. Shout out to Hard. I love that record, by the way.
Yeah,
That can go on the gym playlist as well. The beat on that is crazy. Jeezy gives you one of the best verses, some of the best ad libs that he could provide on that record.
and funny enough, it's his first time being credited as Jeezy and not Young Jeezy. Fun fact.
Fun fact. Shout out to Jeezy and Young Jeezy, both catalogs.
Shout out to the
I'm glad they
snowman.
compressed it because I remember at one point you had to search for Young Jeezy and Jeezy separately, but that was years ago. You know,
That's
that's
unnecessary,
early Apple
bro.
Music days. Who you telling? Who you telling when he officially changed his name? So anytime I wanted to go to a recession, I had to search Young Jeezy, and then when you wanted to listen to his new music, you had to search Jeezy. So, but shout
Okay.
out to Jeezy. Shout out to stupid name changes that should happen at a certain age, I guess.
Like Lil Bow Wow.
Speaking of another Rihanna album, though, Rihanna says she wants a daughter, so that told me everything I needed to know about a new Rihanna album. I lost hope. Me and AB did a video about like 5 6 years ago talking about how Rihanna was going to drop a new album, and here we are, like, in 2025, not a word. So
No, not a peep, bro. She came out on a Super Bowl and said, "I'm pregnant." She is not getting the album. Like, I don't even know why people keep asking at this point or teasing, because it's like, what is a 10-year removed album going to sound like? Who is it going
right.
to be for? And what is it going to do?
And
Like,
unfortunately, I don't feel like it can live up to the expectations that long of a break left
no.
behind.
She would have to change her name, release the album, find out what it did, and then be like, okay, yeah, that was me, guys.
Yeah, yeah, pull a money long or her type situation.
Yeah, I just can't imagine 12 songs, 18 songs, and you're just like, okay, okay, okay. When are you gonna
She
do
can
something I
get,
like or
she
whatever?
can go work with she can go get Sia, Neo, Money Long, Esther Dean, James Fauntleroy. I still don't know how that's gonna come out.
No, it's a tough
I guess,
lift.
yeah, 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 man. But yeah, thanks for helping me out with this QB. I
Oh,
appreciate
it's my
you.
pleasure, man. This is fun. I can't wait.
Yeah, we gotta do this again. We gotta get three more people and run this back. So,
Facts. I might do some dark horses next time. Just spot on. Like my
some
B and
people,
C are like,
you know what? Some people you don't have no leeway on that. You know, like AB was he. I'm surprised he ain't try to pull it with the Drake stuff, but he actually kept it like, you know what? I gotta pick these because this is the obvious stuff. Like, I'm surprised you did that with Drake. You know what I mean? That's a tough call for you. But some people that actually they have dynamic catalogs where you can really pick and choose.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And I think doing these big three, like the album, the song, the verse, it's like you really got to think about what story you're trying to tell. And if you're introducing it to somebody, like you said, like what stage of life are you in? What do you want to
Hmm.
get from this? And like, how can I facilitate that through these musical selections? So,
It's funny. It's
you
almost
know,
like you're trying to tell their whole career just based off 3 points.
facts. It's great though. That was fun.
All right, y'all. Make sure y'all leave your comments. Let us know who y'all would pick or what project songs y'all would pick for album, song, verse. I know it's tough to choose. Can't be from the same project, and it's a lot tougher if you try not to pick the hits because that makes it a
Because
little too easy.
obviously I won this round, so
If you believe so, if you believe so. But hey,
nah,
I
for
feel
real.
like I did. Hey,
You have
justice
some
for
great
twerk it
picks.
out, justice for here I stand, y'all.
Goodness gracious. Just get out of here, man. Thank you for having
All
me,
right,
man. It was a
y'all.
lot of fun.
All right, y'all. Peace.